Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Chaos in Southwest Nebraska. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell all your friends about it. And today we're talking about education and how some of the things that you were taught in high school and college maybe haven't necessarily aged well, or you look back on it and you go, that really doesn't make sense. And I'm not talking about, computers, where if your last computer class, whether it be high school or college, was more than a year, possibly 18 months ago, it's already outdated. That's not what we're talking about. It's always going to be that way, always has been. What I'm talking about is like math. Math teachers, your grade school teachers, they wouldn't let you use a calculator because, as they always said, you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Boy, has that statement aged like cheap Walmart boxed wine into vinegar. I mean, this little device that I'm talking to you folks on right now has multiple calculators on it. It can do a lot more than that too, but that's not the point. And another thing, just on the math subject, once you got done with the basic math, you're, adding, subtracting, multiply, divide, and a little bit of basic algebra and basic geometry. Okay, why weren't they offering, the finance classes and accounting classes to count towards your math credits, as opposed to, the advanced algebra classes that we were taking that I don't use anything for since I took that class? When I'm visiting with my accountant doing my taxes, knowing that, let me read this formula to you. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. That's the quadratic equation. Haven't used it since my junior year in high school in advanced algebra. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of unnecessary stuff like that. And then get into the English, and this one, to look back, made zero sense. You'd ask the teacher, how do you spell this word, especially grade school, junior high level? Well, if you don't know how to spell it, look it up in the dictionary. The dictionary, everything is put into order of how it is spelled, and it gives definitions and pronunciations, not a spell book. I know nowadays you can grab your phone or your tablet in school and talk into it. How do you spell this word? And it will probably even have it spelled out for you as you're speaking it. So now that's not as big a deal to you younger folks, but the older ones my age, you get what I'm talking about. And then, on top of that, a lot of the spelling makes no sense. Like, how does GHF? They say, oh, sound it out, laugh, Laugh. Oh, spell that out. Lay-uh-g-utch. That's not how, don't spell it out. That never made sense. Kind of like Mike Krzyzewski. Okay, it's a name, but you get my point. It's Krzyzewski, and it starts out Krzy. Yeah, anyway. But anyway, on to something else in English, and the stuff they made us read. Yeah, I know Shakespeare's a part of the history of literature, but why did we have to read 6 of his plays? And, give us something that we enjoy reading, like a sports book or books about war. Or, I'm reading American Caesar, the biography of Douglas MacArthur right now. Something that we enjoy reading, not, and if you grew up in Nebraska, you had to read Willa Cather. If you don't know who she is and haven't read any of your books, I'm saving you. Don't waste your time. Teachers and critics and literature historians think it's great. It's crap. It's her novels take place late 1800s, early 1900s. They're boring, no plot. Basically, take Napoleon Dynamite, set it in 1900, remove the humor, and that's a Willa Cather novel. But I digress. And then finally, what they taught us in health. All of a sudden, in the mid 2000s, they decided, the food pyramid, it's wrong. And everybody's been using it for decades, and it's wrong. They came out with a new one that I still never did figure out. I don't even know if they have a food pyramid anymore. And then, of course, no, margarine's no good, butter's bad, and then butter was bad, and margarine was good, and now butter's good again, and they can't make up their minds. Fat's bad, but there are certain trans fats that are good. Okay, it's still confusing. It's changing all the time. And then, in high school, they taught us about the dangers of drugs and just say no, and Red Ribbon Week and healthcare class. And now, drugs are bad. Okay. Well, now they're legalizing these all over the world and in states across this great nation. I'm less than an hour from the Colorado border, and I could take a quick drive, go smoke some weed legally. They used to throw you in prison for that. Now it's like, hey, okay, well, come over here and smoke it. Or, you could go visit our neighbors to the north in Canada, go to Toronto and, get some needle and bang on some black tar heroin. It's just fine and dandy up there. But, the world's is changing, I guess. So, but that's just, like I said, some of the things that were taught in school, they just changed with the times, and others, you just kind of scratch your head and go, huh? But anyway, that's my rant for the day, and, hope your education was better than mine. Well, I had a good education. Sorry, teachers, if I offended you. I'm just kind of ranting again, like I said. But anyway, like I said, some of it is just stuff that doesn't make sense. A lot of it is how the technology is changing and how education is always changing, and how I really have no clue what's going on in education anymore. So anyways, hope you all have a good day. And Chaos in Southwest Nebraska over and out.